Hello guys, welcome to another Honda Element video. Today I'm going to show you how to fix an overheating problem that I've been having for a while already, and this happened to my two Honda Elements. And if somebody's dealing with this, stay tuned, like and subscribe, okay? Okay guys, so what happened with my car is it overheats, but it overheats only sometimes. It doesn't overheat all the time. And I notice it overheats mostly when I'm going uphill. If somebody is having this kind of problem, hopefully this video helps you to fix that. And what happens is if I drive uphill for a while, and it's mostly driving uphill but going like 30 or 35 miles per hour, like not going too fast. And what happened is that the gauge, if you see the gauge here on the right side of the cluster, it goes, usually should be in the middle or a little bit less. I like it when it's less, a little bit less than the middle, you know. So what happens is when I'm driving uphill, it goes up. Sometimes it doesn't reach the whole hat, but it does get like to 3/4, and then what I do is I have to stop. You know, I have to wait a little bit, and then it gets cold right away. Or sometimes it takes a few minutes, and I keep driving it, so that way I don't take it to like all the way hot, which is not really good. And not only that, I notice also my air condition is not too cold when that happens. Or for example, if I'm with the engine running and the car is on for like, let's say 10 minutes, and then I notice that the needle too goes in the middle, or it goes a little bit more. It doesn't go all the way, but that also I don't like, you know. And that happens to my two Elements, like I was telling you. So what I did to diagnostic this is, first, you know, check that your car has enough coolant. So let me show you. That's very important, because sometimes if you have a small coolant leak, then it's gonna get some air in the system, and then that's gonna make your car overheat. But in this case, I already checked it. You can open this cap when it's cold, please, because it's dangerous to open when it's hot, and it have to be cold, okay? A lot of people sometimes they only check this, but that's not enough. You have to check the radiator, make sure it's full and coolant. So if your radiator is full and coolant, then the other simple thing to do is you can check if the fans are running. So last time when my car was overheating, I stopped the car. I opened the hood, but I stopped it, but the engine is still running. Open the hood and I checked for the fans to make sure they were working fine. And I noticed that from the two fans, that's one fan over there and that's another fan right here, only one was working, which was the fan right here. And this fan is the one that gives more like air to the engine, because that's pointing where the engine is, right? So I noticed that was not working. So I thought like, okay, maybe I have like an electrical problem, or maybe the fan is down. And this fan is really easy to check. It has only two wires, like you see it here. It's a connector. If you unhook this, you're gonna see the two connectors, and you're gonna get a positive and a negative, okay? When you have two wires, you're gonna have a positive and negative, just to make this work. So that day when I was driving, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that next time. So what I did, I carry with me this tool, which is called a power probe, or also you can use a voltmeter. And this one, what it does is just checks for positive and negative, okay? So negative is usually close to 0, and as you see, this one has a green light for negative, and in the positive is battery voltage. In this case I have 12.17, and it has a red light. So I will turn on my car to show you, and I will start the air conditioning, and both fans supposed to come on. Okay, so I start the car. As you see it, I turn on the AC. That way you can check for your fans to make sure they are working. And that fan is working really nice. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but It is moving, it is working. But look at this one is not working at all. That one is not moving. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's supposed to come on. Okay, the day when I was having the problems with the overheating, this fan was not coming on. I'm gonna check for positive and negative, okay? If this one has a positive and negative, that's it, guys. The problem is gonna be the fan. So let's do that. Let's check it out. So I'm gonna bring my power probe. And look at this, guys, very carefully. I check it. And that's green light over there. You guys see it, right? And now look at the other one. Supposed to have a positive, okay? And as you see it has a positive. It's the red light lighting on. I'm gonna connect it back. Fan is not working at all, guys. Fan is dead. So as you see it, the cable is getting positive and negative, but the fan is never coming on. Okay? So I will replace the fan. I will show you the part. So that's what was causing my overheating all these times. And what happened is that sometimes the car won't overheat, because what happened is that you drive the car on the freeway, and the car, when you're driving in higher speed, it gets some air, and that's enough. And the other fan is working, so that with the combine of the air that you're getting when you're driving on the freeway, that's enough for the engine to make it not overheat. But when you're going up hills, the engine gets more demand of load, you know, and then also you are going high in lower speeds, let's say 30, 35, and then that's when the car really needs that two fans. And I noticed this problem since a lot of Hondas, and that's what was causing my problem all the time. I did figure it out that on my other element, every time when I was going hiking and I have to drive uphill only, or when I was in a stop for like more than 10 minutes, just, you know, like waiting for somebody, or just in the stop or in traffic, I will only get overheat. So please, guys, check your fan. Now I will show you how to replace it. It's pretty easy to do, and here is the part number. Okay, guys, so here is the part number. Is DL620233, and that fan that we are replacing is the condenser fan. Okay, so for the one close to the battery is called the radiator fan, and that one is, or the engine fan, and that one is the condenser, or also it's called the radiator fan, engine fan, condenser fan. But they both needs to be working 100%. If one fails, you know, it can be enough to make the problem that I'm having right now. So here is the fan. Let's open it. And the tools we need for the job, very simple. A ratchet, 10mm socket, short and deep, and this to remove the pins, and a voltmeter, or in this case I'm using a power probe. Only by having this, watching this video, you can save tons of money. See, so we are going to remove this reservoir, which is held by only one 10mm, and then you remove the 2mm bolts here, 1 and 2, disconnect the fan. Okay, and then we are going to try to see if it goes out. But if it doesn't go out, we're just gonna remove this plastic trim, which is held by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these pins, and we're gonna remove these bolts right here. We're gonna show you, okay? There is another 2 bolts that holds a radiator bracket, so that way we can move this a little bit forward, and then we're gonna be able to remove the fan. It's pretty easy to do. You don't have to drain any coolant, nothing like that. So let's go ahead and start first removing the 3 bolts right here. Once you remove the reservoir, it just pops up. Nothing, you know, nothing hard to do. So I already removed this one. It was pretty easy. Just remove the 10mm, as you see it here. Put it from this side. I already removed the other 2 bolts for the fan, but the fan won't come out, so I have to remove this plastic, you know, the 5 pins. Be careful to don't break this. And this one I kind of fixing it last minute because tomorrow I'm going to a trip, remove this plastic cover, and then we are going to remove these bolts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, okay, 7, 8, so we can make some space. So as you see guys, I remove the 2 bolts here, 2 bolts right here, and this one had a bracket. Remove 2 bolts, remove the bracket which holds the radiator, and then I just slightly move it here. Even this one I didn't really have to move much, but you can do. And then very carefully try to slide up the fan and it should come out. When you remove this fan, please make sure that you don't break this, you know, or you don't make a hole at the radiator. Just be careful guys, okay? Pay attention in what I'm doing, and just in case I unhook the alternator connector because it was kind of on my way, like it was kind of hitting a little bit. But watching this video you can save tons of money, okay guys? So now guys, we are going to install this bag. So now guys, we are going to install it back again very carefully. You see these like fits, they do sit in the holes over here, so it's very easy to do. So you guys just gonna put it back the way you remove it. I already installed it back guys. I'm installing the 10 millimeters, and one big advice, you keep removing the 10 millimeter bolts. All of them look similar, but please make sure you use the shorter one, because when you are installing it back to here, if you use the long one, as you see, it goes through this nut right here. It might make a hole on here if you use a longer one, so please be careful about that, okay? Happened to me before many years ago. Now I'm installing the 2 bolts back. I already installed the bottle bag and all the bolts right here. Don't forget to plug the connector for the fan. I already connect this, and unfortunately the fan is supposed to have like a clip here, but it came broken in mine, so I'm just gonna hold it with something over there. But make sure when you buy the part nothing is broken. It happens to me before in fans, especially because it's plastic, and then when they chip it they break. So you're supposed to have like a kind of a pin there that it will hold that connector in place. So I will just put like a tight strap. It's no big deal, you know. I don't really want to do the job again. So this is the second fan I'm replacing. I did that in my other car too, and I can tell you, after you do this, my problem was gone. I drove the car up hills where usually I go hiking, and the car used to overheat all the time. I have to like stop, and didn't happen again. And definitely your ACs might work even better, like get colder. You know, you're supposed to get both fans on. So only one fan is kind of lies because it's only working like most of the times, but when you're really putting low in the engine, that's when you really need the other fan working, you know. I'm gonna see if I can adjust this. Looks like the hose is not all the way in. It's not leaking in anything, but just cosmetically, you know, like looks better. But so now everything is there. We're gonna start the car, make sure everything is double check everything is connected, you know, like the cable is secure because you don't want it to get stuck somewhere. And let's start the engine and let's see, okay? So now we start the engine to run the AC, and let's check it out, guys. Look at this, guys. It's working now. That one too. That's how it's supposed to be. So I hope this helps other people to fix their overheating problem when going uphill or when the car is stopping idle. Hope you guys like it. Please like and subscribe. Doing that makes more Honda Element videos to be possible, okay? Take care. Guys, what a huge difference on my AC. It's way colder than before. I can feel the difference.